Obviously, you spent a long time as an announcer for the All-Stars. Tell everybody what it is that you're actually doing right now.
I don't even really have a job title, I don't think. That's the question everyone asks me. And I asked John, my boss, the other day, what do I say? I don't know. I'm in, I guess, management team promotions here at Skagit Speedway as we're ramping up for our 70th season, which is exciting. And I think I've really, me, I'm a lot like you, and kind of a numbers nerd. I like watching the numbers very closely. So I've been really diving in on our ticket sales and monitoring that, and working hard with Lisa Dines on our social media stuff. She does a lot of our social media and the marketing, and she's phenomenal at that, really gaining exposure here at Skagit. So I've really enjoyed that. And that's kind of my focus is looking over Skagit and working with John and Peter Murphy, our promoter, John Hager's our general manager, and how we can continue to elevate Skagit to the next level. I think we're making progress. As I've looked at our car counts the last 3 years, and they're on the climb. And I think we're going to see on the climb again this year, which is fun.
I think it's interesting. You are kind of at this moment, in the Pacific Northwest, and you're at Skagit, which is obviously, they have sprint cars there weekly. But I saw this week that you were tweeting out Knoxville stats, and I was wondering if maybe you were just getting that little bit of an itch to maybe do some stuff again.
You know me, I've really enjoyed Knoxville as a passion. That's home for me. And I love digging into their numbers, which is fun. But I don't know. I've had some opportunities to do a little bit of announcing, and I haven't jumped at them per se. I've been more making sure that I've got my full focus on Skagit Speedway right now, which is obviously my bread and butter. I think that I haven't even really talked to John, and I actually talked about it last night. Like if Caleb Hart, who's our weekly announcer, who's phenomenal, if he has to miss a night, maybe he would jump in and fill in there instead of us going and hiring somebody to bring in. So maybe I would announce a night at Skagit. Caleb asked about me announcing at Dirt Cup with him, and I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be pretty tied up with our Skagit stuff, so you never know. I think maybe the foundation race with High Limit. Actually, Kendra and Chase had talked to me about the Race Redeem Foundation race because I'll be there with the foundation. And Kevin mentioned, that, hey, if you want to hop in for a little bit, you can jump in there. So maybe that's when I'll make my return for a race or two there. And then obviously I'm still planning on doing Gateway Dirt Nationals and Chili Bowl, but right now those are kind of my only two that I have on my planner. And that's obviously a long ways away. I got to get there. Right now I have a full head of hair, but give me a couple months. Give me a couple months of this working at a racetrack thing, and that might be different.
What do you think so far, Pacific Northwest? Have you had a chance to get out and explore a little bit yet?
It's beautiful. It's incredible. I've told my parents, like, a clear day here is undefeated when I'm driving down I-5 from the racetrack. Because it's about a 50-minute drive for me to the racetrack. I live on the north side of Seattle. I'm like 20 minutes north of downtown, and it's about 50 miles from where I live in Linwood to get here to the racetrack. So when I'm driving back home at night, if it's clear, sunny day, you can see Mount Rainier from 120 miles away, and it's stunning. And or driving to the racetrack, Mount Baker, that sits actually up by Deming Speedway, where I'll go tonight to watch the micros, and you can see that. It's incredible. I went down. My buddy Brent Anderson lives out here, Fire Down Graphics. He works at Joe's.
Interesting side note about Brett Anderson. The DIRTRACKR logo that's on the screen right now was designed by Brent Anderson.
I'm not surprised. Brent's done a lot of work for us here, but Brent's a really good buddy of mine, and he's really taken me out and shown me a lot of Seattle. And we have a lot of places we want to get. I'd say in February, there was a really, really nice Saturday. It was like 70 degrees. So we went downtown, and I went back up the Space Needle. It's been a couple years since then, and down to Pike Place Market and walked around, and we had a couple beers at some places. So I'm looking forward to exploring the city more this summer and getting out to like the San Juan Islands. That's where Steve Beitler, that used to own the racetrack, he has his boat out there, and he's been on me to come out there. I don't know if my liver's ready for a weekend with Beitler, but I'm not young anymore. I'm not in college. In college, I maybe could have done it, but no, Steve wants to show me that, and I'm excited to get out there. But it is beautiful.
I feel like we've seen, a lot of progress at Skagit here since Kevin Radine and Peter Murphy and kind of this change in ownership group from Beitler. What are the projects you guys kind of have going on? Like, what are the things you're kind of excited for this year?
It's all depending on the county and what they approve. We've got a lot of permits in to get a lot going. I mean, I say we, it's easier to do that. Since we've gotten the racetrack, we've got a big screen. You've seen a lot of updates, new boards in the grandstands painted. So when race fans come here next week for our season opener, which you're a Star Wars guy, aren't you, Fiedler?
Oh, yeah.
So here's something cool. It's May 4th next week. So May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th, yeah.
We have 9 Star Wars characters coming from an Actors Guild down in Seattle in full character. So we'll have Star Wars characters here all night, which is going to be cool. But when they come for that, we've got new turf down, a new Victory Lane that just got painted, new concrete down there, a new flag stand, new paint all over the facility. All the buildings have been repainted, a lot of new turf laid down, some gravel put down. We've got permits in to get a new press box, which is where our office will be. I was telling you before we went live. We're basically right now, if construction sites, like a construction site office, they custom fabbed 2 construction site offices for us with windows. And one that I'm sitting in right now is our press box. And then right below us is our office. So that's all temporary, but hoping for some new bathrooms, some updates, a lot of updates around the facility. And that's one of the things that Kevin's kind of put me on is I've been working on a narrative, which I've never done before. So I had to Google how to write a narrative and working with John on that, on other projects we want to do at Skagit to continue to elevate it. We got some property across the racetrack, across the road. So it's very similar to Eldora, where if you've been to Eldora, you know, Highway 118 splits the racetrack and then some of the campground across the street. That's kind of similar to what we have. We got some more property across the street. So we're hoping to do some stuff over there, and we'll at least have additional parking. And we've got a lot of stuff on our to-do list that is all pending getting permits from the county.
Well, and you guys have some big time sprint car racing this year. Obviously, you'll have High Limit come through. You got Dirt Cup. You know, what about those events are you excited about? Do you think, you know, the area will support them? I mean, obviously, Dirt Cup is an event that's been there for a long time, but High Limit now kind of taking the place of the outlaw shows that have been there in the past. But what are you looking forward to about those events, and how do you think they're going to go?
I'm just excited to learn the process of working these races behind the scenes on the business side of things. As I said, the tickets, I've been really diving into that on our ticketing, and our Dirt Cup tickets are trending pretty good, about normal. And Dirt Cup is our bread and butter. I tell people, you know, if you know Skagit Speedway, you probably know us for Dirt Cup in June, which is our $62,000 to win race that last year Justin Sanders won, and $500 a lap. He led all 40, so got 82 grand. So we'll have some lap money again this year. And that's sanctioned with NARC, and NARC does a like fastest 5 days where they come up through Oregon into Washington, and then that leads right into Dirt Cup. And we've got some fan events planned around, so that's fun. And then the end of July, we have a $15,000 to win 360 race, Bob's Burgers and Brews Summer Nationals, that ASCS Frontier sanctions, that for a while was sanctioned by ASCS National when they would come up here, but now the Frontier region sanctions it. And that's a big event that gets a pretty good car count. And then obviously High Limit, 100 grand to win for now. And that's exciting that we've got 200 grand to win races on the West Coast with that. And the Gold Cup down at Chico, that's literally the week before. So that's August 29, 30, and 31. And I'm excited for that, just to see. I haven't been out here for that event, whether the Skagit Nationals, and we got some exciting sponsorship on that with Sage Fruits back. And then Elliott's Custom Trailers is our presenting sponsor. Cindy Elliott hopped on out of Indiana, so that's fun. And our ticket sales there, that's the one I've really been monitoring, because that's the change. You know, we had the Outlaws there for quite a while, and now High Limit comes in. So we've had to kind of educate some fans on what High Limit is, and they're still going to see the superstars of sprint car racing. But our ticket sales there have been trending in the right direction. And I know that a lot of people get 100 grand to win. Why don't you make it 50 and spread the money through the purse? And we did raise the purse, but the 100 grand to win, just as you know, pops. That's what gets attention. We could do 50 grand to win, and our ticket sales would be way less, because 100 grand to win sticks out. So hopefully, if we can continue to shoot ticket sales up and sponsorship, that's something where the next thing on our list is to increase the purse from second on back.
Can you turn your computer around so we can see the racetrack? Is that possible?
Oh, it's pretty the sun's out right now. There
we go.
You can see the big screen there.
Yeah, live look at Skagit Speedway. Got the big screen on. What's on the big screen right now? Are you watching a movie or something?
The ad for Dirt Cup is on there. So we had some potential partners out at the racetrack this morning that John was showing around. So he had them in here. That's our scoring room where our big screen runs off those 2 laptops there. That is so he had them in there. Sorry if I give you motion sickness there. But so he had the big screen going. So, which has been the thorn in the side for Skagit Speedway. They got this big screen 2 years ago, and it hasn't really ran. And now we got a kid from about 10 miles south of here that's going to run it nightly. So we'll be able to do some more stuff with that. We've got some cool things planned there that you see at like baseball games that John's
kind of a nerd for and really got working, which I think is going to be really cool and fun interactions for the crowd. And then we have a camera guy each week that'll be here. So we'll have some YouTube highlights each week if you're wanting to watch Skagit around the country. That's the first time we've ever had that. And who knows, maybe some streaming on down the line. But we got to walk before we run here.
What's the YouTube channel? Do you have it set up yet?
I think it's just Skagit Speedway. I think
Okay.
Lisa had it set up. I believe. I don't know if I disappeared there, J Feeds, because I'm on a different tab. I believe I haven't got the credentials to that yet. So
okay, I just like if people are watching, they want to tune in. Let's give them the.
Yeah, I can't even find it right now. I believe it's just Skagit Speedway, though. I'm almost positive it is.
Okay, let me.
There it is. Yep, Skagit Speedway. We've got 164 subscribers right now.
Oh,
We're
that's
booming.
nothing.
Business is booming.
There's 123 people in here watching right now. All of those people can go subscribe to the Skagit Speedway YouTube channel.
We'll have YouTube highlights each week, which is something Brent Anderson, who I mentioned earlier, had talked to me about. Like Caleb, he works with Caleb Hart, our announcer, and Caleb would come back to work on Monday and say, "Oh, you wouldn't believe the racing. It was awesome at Skagit." And I said, "Well, where can I see highlights?" Well, they're not there. Now, problem solved. We got Randy Frank shooting them, and Randy's a veteran. He's been shooting sprint cars for 30 years, so he knows the ins and outs.
Hell yeah. I want to ask a question here from the chat. Have you run into Bigfoot yet?
I have not. You know, he's probably out there, though. As I showed the racetrack, you can see we've got woods all around us, especially behind it. So he probably is out there somewhere. It's funny because anywhere you go, like the cliche postcards will have him on there, Sasquatch, Bigfoot. My dad worked at Jack Link's for 7 years, and they obviously have Sasquatch. So when I moved out here, Dad was right at home seeing that guy advertised all over because he saw him in the office every Monday.